5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, here's the interesting thing about it is up until its final network airing, which was in 1960, Masquerade Party was done live every time it appeared. They finally started going to tape with it in 1960, whenever Burt Parks ultimately had become the host of the show. But it was one of these things that, and there's an old story about it, because at one point in time, they got very concerned. They were trying to get the celebrity into the costume. Of course, they'd done rehearsals on this to try to time out how long it would take to make sure they knew what time to give the celebrity a call to be backstage to get all suited up. And there was one night, in fact, it was Burt Lahr who played the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, and he was one of the celebrities who was going to be suited up that night. And they had him in some kind of get-up that the zipper stuck in it, and they couldn't get it away from showing his underwear if he had come out. And they scrambled and scrambled and scrambled, and literally with 10 seconds before, and this was live, 10 seconds before they were scheduled to come back from a commercial break, finally they got him presentable enough to go out in costume, and the panel couldn't figure out who he was. It was a hoot and a half. And that's just one of the things that when television was live, you never knew when there was going to be something unexpected to happen. It's like the old story about Jackie Gleason forgetting his lines one night, but also another night when Jackie Gleason was supposed to make an entrance into the apartment set for the honeymooners, and this is when they were doing it live, and he couldn't get the door. The door had been locked to the apartment, the one that he and Alice would usually go greet somebody at. There was no possible way he could get in there, and it left Art Carney, who was in the apartment, it left him on stage by himself, and he did his shtick, such as like he would go around shaking his fingers, trying to figure out where he was. He literally filled 6 minutes on the set before they finally got Gleason there. 6 minutes live, that guy did, and the audience was in hysterics because they knew something was wrong, they just didn't know what was wrong. And that just shows you some of the genius that Art Carney had. But Masquerade Party did come back one more time in 1974-75 as a weekly syndicated show with Richard Dawson as the host, and they had 3 celebrities, and one of them was Lee Merriweather, Miss America, who just turned 90 years old. How about that? But it was just a pure fun show. It was mostly a summer replacement show, and I'll give you one last little bit of trivia about it. There was a point in time in the summer of 1952 when the host of the show was Douglas Edwards, who was also the anchorman for the CBS Evening News at the time. Can you believe that? There's a lot of stories behind why things like that happened. And of course, we've shown you Walter Cronkite hosting a panel show called It's News to Me. So they weren't all as pure in being all news because they needed that extra paycheck that hosting a game show would provide at that point in time. But I just thought you'd find that interesting. Well, we are going to move on because right after this, we have in about another minute and 15 seconds after we leave you, we've got another edition of Steve Beverly's TV Classics as the marathon continues. Remember, there will be baseball tomorrow between 1 and 6. We consider that part of the marathon. So baseball will be on for 5 hours tomorrow afternoon, and then it's right back here again with our Saturday night edition. Another brand new one of TV Classics will be with us then. I hope it's been a fabulous day wherever you are, and I hope the weekend continues to be such. So until we are with you again in just a few minutes, this is Steve Beverly saying happy birthday, everyone, and happy birthday, America.